Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Thursday the 17th of June, and we called a top in for the DAX last night on our charts, and we're seeing this is the US government bond, the 10-year yields here. So they look like they're going to be pushing up now. I'm not sure about the Euro zone. I'll need to check on those, but if the DAX is going to follow the S&P, well, then we've got a bit of a top in place, possible top in place for the S&P. And this move here from, this is a 4-hour chart of the yield. So wave 3 here, an A and a B, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the C wave over, and the spike up here. If this is going to continue to the upside here, then it's likely that's going to place pressure on, well, precious metals, stocks, indices, and so on. So that's kind of what we're sort of thinking here. So while this is pushing up, it will play a bit of pressure on this. So with the DAX on the weekly here, we've got this counted as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then going up to wave 3 here with 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it's possible for this market to pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here while those yields push up. So that's really the main gist of it all. So you can see from wave 2 here, we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 5 here, and this has been tripping to the upside. I've got counts that can take us higher, and I've got a count that can be a top in place. There's different ways to count it, okay, and you may have a different count as well. So what we're really got to focus on here is, well, I'm thinking that, you know, as I've mentioned in our bullish weekly cycle, that we normally have, you know, well, Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday starts to get choppy, and then Thursday delivers the bear day, and then Friday is bullish, and Monday will follow through on that bullish day. Now, if Friday's not bullish, and if it's bearish, then we'll have a change in trend. So really, Friday being bearish or bullish will be confirmation of a change in trend. Kind of simplistic, but it may prove helpful in that regard. Just drilling in here to the intraday. Like I said, there's different ways to count this, and I've always sort of preferred this count here because on the S&P this was 3 waves up, and you can do the same here and here. So wave 3 over here with a wave 4 here as a triangle pattern, and then 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave. Like I said, we'll count it on our website differently, and that's okay too, and you may have different count as well. Look, there could even be more upside here as well for this, and like I said, for the US videos and the Asian videos and things, is that what we're actually really looking for from the top is we want to see a nice clear impulse wave to the downside, right? Once we've got that, then we can look at the corrective move from that point, and then we can look to short on the B wave low here as an A and a B and a C here, or draw a line through here, or all sorts of things. If this is really clear in 5 waves down here, then we can work the 50-60% retracement level over here. But if this is not clear as 5 waves, well, then we have to wait for something solid like this B wave being broken low here to short. So yeah, that's kind of how it stands. So I know other folks have got different counts for this coming up here as well. So we're looking for a top. Is this the top? I don't know. We can see with the S&P 500 that there's a possible top in play, but with the Nasdaq it appears that there can be another high to come in play as well. So yeah, look, we need to really put the trader's hat on and look for trade setups on this, you know, on the short side. But we've got to be careful picking tops. You know, it's a fickle business, and yeah, but this is a long-term trend line I've got through here, and we can see that it's really just finding this as resistance now, and it was support vibrated around it for a while, basically found support, dropped below it, and hasn't moved back above it, you know. So it could do, but being on this side of it is a sign of weakness at this point. So yeah, let's just cruise into this. There's, as I mentioned, there's different ways of counting all of this. If we use this as wave 1 here and 2 here, then we could look at this as 1 and 2 and 5 waves in the third wave and a fourth wave here and 5 waves up for the fifth wave here. This does overlap over here for this. We could count this up here as an A and a B and a C wave here and put the C wave, put this wave 3 over here and put wave 4 here and put wave 5 here. Honestly, there's different ways to count it, but so what we need to do is we need to be very confident on our move down through here. So if I just cut through to say the 20 tick chart here for a moment and bring in some more data here, and we'll just have a look at that top in a close way. So we could say that this is the top here because it looks like the top. It looks like this is corrective with an impulse wave here. So we could probably even call this in as a top here as well. And I think that that's pretty fair to do that actually, because you know, all of this, look, whichever way you count it, we could look at all of this as 1 and 2 and 3 and, well, 3 and 4 to here, maybe. Anyway, third wave in here. So these here, that looks like part of that. Yeah, a little bit tricky. We looked at this before. We couldn't really figure it out, but we know that that's corrective. So we'd probably have to bundle all this up in one way or another as wave 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 and 5 to this point. So it does sort of open up a little bit here, gives us a bit of an idea. I mean, do we have a nice impulse wave down here? Well, we could squeeze it in. We could look at this as being say even wave 1 here and 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 and 3 here, and then I don't know, I mean, squeezing it in, we're squeezing this in as a wave 4 and 5. I don't know, it's just not, it's not a really nice clear sort of structure here, is it, in terms of giving us 5 waves down here. So that means to me that, okay, well, we could get 5 waves out of it, but it's not that clear. It could also be counted corrective because it's got overlapping wave structures within all of this as well. This move here overlaps with this here and so on. I mean, I can see we could look at this as an A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave here for this, you know, so looking at, yeah, there's different ways of looking at it, but, you know, it's not 100% clear that we do have a nice impulse wave down through here. I mean, this is more impulsive here for this, so that's be finding a low here soonish. So yeah, I'm just not prepared. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to wait really for Friday to see if Friday is bullish. That's the main point. If Friday is bearish, then we're going to look for short trade setups. So we're going to look for short trade setups tomorrow because we don't really have them here today. Yes, I know it's bearish, and there is a possible top in play, and it's not like all the markets, you know, top out together. You know, there's leaders and followers, so we need to understand that as well. So we'll just bring this back to so it's possible that we could just be having a correction down here. I mean, we could say too that the 15,500 is really a line in the sand here, isn't it? Because it was resistance and it became support. So if it becomes resistance again, well, then that's a real problem. I mean, even what we could do here as well is look at this low here, and I'll just take it to the level there. This is the 61.8% here. So, you know, if that number there, the 15,600 became the resistance, well, then that would put it in, you know, that means that this move up here is not going to be supported. So if that becomes the resistance here, then that's going to drop down to this point. And if we're going to look at shorting it down here, I mean, what would that mean if it did come down that far? Well, this is where the wave 4 comes in here, this wave 4 here, you know. Yes, it would overlap the top of wave 1 here and so on, but yeah, I think this we can really see that the 15,500 is the support. So if that became the resistance, that would be another key to to looking at it on the downside. But what it does mean in the short term here, it means that we shouldn't really be long here. We shouldn't really be buying anything at this particular point. So let's just, what else we got here? The stock 50 is the same as well. If I use the triangle pattern down here, then this counts nicely as 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave, and having a top in play here. Let's just have a look at this on the 20-tick chart to see if we can see anything that's worthy of well, first of all, let's just find our top here. So, okay, we can use that top there. That's okay. Well, it's interesting that that made a top. This pattern here made a top there because it didn't do it on the DAX. But it does leave a bit better for. It does leave a bit of a better pattern here, though, doesn't it? Because a little bit dodgy in here. But if we could just consider this for a moment as all of this is wave 1 here, maybe to here or here with an A and a B and a C here. This is a nice third wave here, isn't it? And then we got our fourth and we got our fifth here. So it looks like we've got sort of, say, 1 and 2 in here somewhere, and a third wave here, and a fourth, a bit spiky, not to worry too much, and a fifth wave here. So if this starts to rally here, then that could be quite interesting, really, because let's just say that in the next session we get some sort of rally. Okay, it might come down a bit further or do whatever, but let's just say that we get a rally. Well, once we've got our rally, then we can look at the second low and then the current low here. So if that's the high in the market for the stock 50 and this is 5 waves down, well, then we're going to get a rally. It may not have its low in place yet. I'll need to do a little bit of work on it, but I could say with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, it's pretty close. It may come down further. I'll need to count this, pull this apart and count this. But let's just say that this is the 50-60% mark, and if it drops lower, then we'll have to drop this lower. But in the next session or so, if we see these markets rally, what that's going to do is it's going to leave us a nice low to work with to short. If we, in this case, we can see 5 waves, so it could be helpful in this case. So if we see this rally, then we can look at, shorting this low and that low. So that's how we'll leave that for the time being, and we'll look at this again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be where we can start to look for our short trade setup. So that will be good. Right, the Footsie, is it behind here? Yeah. So if I use my triangle pattern again, which I kind of like, which is wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C and a D and an E wave here. And we've had this pattern here before further over yonder, so I'm familiar with it. And this is all a bit of a mess to me. I mean, I would be looking at this being more bullish rather, it doesn't look, even if we put wave 4 over here for this, and looked at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, then 1 and 2, and then this is impulsive here, this is impulsive, this is impulsive. That wave 4 shouldn't really go there. So it should be counted up. Let's just have a look. On the tick chart, let's go to the tick chart where we've got it as more of a bullish count. This is where I've had it as more of a bullish count, using this as wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And this is basically taking care of all the waves that I can see in here, And this would lift it up from wave 2 here to wave 3 here. And yesterday we were looking for wave 4. They can pull back to this wave 4. It has moved a little bit lower. We have moved our stop to our entry point to make that break even. You could just probably exit that in there if you wanted to, just so you cover your brokerage as well. But yeah, let's just sort of see. I mean, I've got this count here that's more bullish. I mean, it's pretty much standing alone, except for the Nasdaq's got a bit of a bullish edge to it as well. But yeah, I mean, all I'm counting here so far it's really butt ugly, all of this. But like I said, I get 5 waves in here, I get 5 waves in here, I get 5 waves in this little move here, I get 5 waves in this little move. So I'm seeing impulse waves to the upside. Okay, now yes, it has fallen out of bed here a little bit. Is that 5 waves down here? No, but it could be counted as 5 waves. It could be counted as down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2. This one here's got 5 in here. This looks like 5, so it's not finished. It's going to come down further. It's going to bounce off here. So this is where you'd probably exit from, in here somewhere. And then it's still got to move here, because this needs to be 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. So where does that leave us after that, you know? Yeah. Just checking to see if that's 5 waves here. Probably. Yes, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then down for this 5. So yeah, it's not a nice looking 5 waves. It could also be counted correctively. That's the main issue here. But this is going to come a little bit lower. So I don't even know if that's wave 4 here. You know, I mean, if I had a really nice 5 wave structure here, then we could work with that, but we don't. So I can't work with it. So we're going to wait another session, and we're going to see what Friday looks like. So yeah, so the FTSE's still got this bullish case to it. It's hard to get, it's hard to count this up here as completed. I mean, you could, but like I said with the FTSE before, it's just going to be pushed around, you know. It hasn't shown since the Brexit, or before the Brexit, it hasn't really shown any really nice structures. It's really just been dragged around, and yeah, it hasn't made it easy at all. So I'll just leave it. I'll leave it all at that. But my parting take on it is that we will see if Friday's going to look bullish or bearish, because that will tell us if the trend has changed from our bullish weekly cycle, and we'll be looking for setups on Friday and Monday. Alrighty, cheers.